good night. This is Pixelia here. Here tonight with ckBubbles.
Hey y'all,
She is a hey CK. How's everything going?
it's great. How are you?
Very good. Very good. Doing good. Bit hot, but doing good.
Yeah,
Good to
it's
have
pretty
you
warm.
here. So CK, correct me if I'm wrong. You're a nail artist, a creative director, a DCL creator, and a community builder. Did I get
Yes.
it correctly or did I miss something?
I'd say those are all pretty correct. Maybe some little things here and there amongst it, but those are kind of the main ones, I guess.
Very, very good. So CK, I'm glad that you're here with us tonight. You know, this is basically our show. It's called Anthem Web3 Radio. It's a radio station that we're building. This is just our show. And I've been, we've been inviting with Milito, my co-host, people that it's relevant for the central and for the central games. It's being hosted in Stronghold. So the central games is also very relevant for us. But I think it just makes sense for me as an active member on both the central games and the central and community, that the community start bridging. So I wanted to bring you in to
Mhm.
let people know who CK Bubbles is, and just to let them know who you are. So
Yeah.
I would say that um, let's get our facts straight first. Why don't you share with us how you started in this crypto world? Like, how did you get involved with blockchain in the first place?
Yeah. So I got into crypto back in 2017. I think, crypto had been around for a little while and I was just really interested in it. And then I was like, you know what, let's get a wallet, let's get a MetaMask and let's buy some coin. So I think I got Litecoin and Bitcoin and like a few others just to start out, very small amounts, nothing like major. And then I had also heard about CryptoKitties. So that's an NFT project where back then, I don't know if you, I think siring's not allowed anymore, but back then you used to be able to get a crypto kitty and then you could breed it with other crypto kitties. You could breed like a new rare trait crypto kitty. So it was like a fun kind of way to take NFTs and give it a little more gamification. So that's kind of what I started in 2017. And then the markets crashed, as everyone knows. And all that little bit of money in crypto I had like dwindled to dollars. And so I definitely was like, okay, let's maybe pause and hold our assets for a little bit and figure out what's going on here. And then I just kind of went off living my life, doing the thing, playing Pokemon Go a lot. And in March, I think it was end of March for Metaverse Fashion Week, Grimes performed, and I'm a huge Grimes fan. So I thought I've never seen Grimes in concert. It would be really great to see it in the metaverse and say like my first Grimes concert was in the metaverse. So I joined Decentraland. I ran around for a few days just to like get the feel, so I didn't look like a total noob walking into the venue. And then I saw the concert and it was really great. But honestly, what kept me around was the community and just like how welcoming everybody was, finding baby dolls, like that was the first place I spoke at in the chat and people were really friendly. And then just like running around from all the different venues, Drew Band Room, Central Games, like obviously those like one of the first few places I went, along with Wondermine. And so Decentraland just became this place of like more than just a game or the thing you do, but the people you hang around and what you can like get into like conversation wise with them.
So it was like a fast experience. Like you took
Yes.
the fast road.
Yeah, I think what made it really good or like what made it really fast and lucky for me was finding a venue like Baby Dolls and getting to talk to people and having that access to people who had been around for a little while and were, hanging out with each other. And so then I think it was the following weekend was Absolute Land. So it was the 2 weekends of Coachella. And that was me just partying with everybody and meeting people from other places. And
So what Steve Aoki, remember?
what'd you say?
Steve Aoki. There was like a Steve Steve Aoki concert.
Was
It was
that during
like,
the first Fashion Week?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you. but
Yeah, I know there was one before.
it was the first time that I went to a like a concert with community with the Penguin Fight Club people. It
Yeah.
just blew my mind.
Yeah, I mean, I think my first concert, from what I remember, was probably True Band Room and seeing like Jack Frost or somebody there, you know? Um, and that just blew my mind because I mean, other than seeing Grimes, obviously, but that was like a very like high produced, like more of the
Yeah,
corporate style. I wouldn't say corporate because it wasn't very corporate at all, but you know what I mean? Like something that was a little more involved. But seeing the True Band Room and kind of having that intimate experience with people in that way was really cool.
yeah, I agree. The experience is very good. Now you mentioned Metaverse Fashion Week. Why don't we jump to that for a second?
Yeah, let's do it.
Can you tell me for a second what was your role there? What happened with you there
You mean the most recent one or when I first came in?
when you first came in, and the most recent one? I want to know both.
Yeah, so the first one, I'm kind of sad I didn't know that it was happening sooner because for me, like, it really was the Grimes concert. That was like what I knew it as. I was in the Grimes Discord and they were talking about, oh, Grimes is going to perform in Decentraland. And so then I joined the Aurora Boreas Discord, which was like the fashion company or like place that threw the concert in their sort of vault venue. I'm not sure. I don't remember what they call it now. And so, yeah, I remember kind of coming in for that. And then when it was right across the street from the Metaverse Fashion Week, like big arena where they did the shows. And so
Okay.
obviously I ran around and just like went into all the different shops that were nearby and like saw the high fashion brands. And, people were just like wandering around and I would kind of like follow people, even though they didn't know I was following them, because I just wanted to see what they were doing and like where they were going. At one point I went into, I think, the Boson portal area and somebody was like taking a work meeting about like fashion week and I just
Mhm.
kind of lurked there being like, what's happening, what is this place? Like, this is
Mhm.
so fun. So I didn't get to see much of the metaverse fashion stuff when I first came in. I didn't get to go to any of the shows. I missed all the emotes and wearables. But shout out to Super Nina for getting me the spotlight emote recently. That was like such a shock to like, they messaged me and were like, hey, check your bag, I sent you the emote. And I was like, that's like too much, but I'm happy to have it. It's kind of a memory of when I first joined and I didn't know what I was doing to know to get it. And but then the more recent Metaverse Fashion Week event was for the Summer Gala. And that AKA Horace put on and did an amazing job. Like, he did so much of the work there. He did the build, he put all the wearables up. I just kind of helped with the curation of, so I did a lot of outreach to different wearable designers. I did outreach to NFT artists and I got them to like send their files in so we could get that all, up in the space. And then Ting Poco helped a lot with sponsorships and social media. Madamus helped with the build as well, doing some of the coding underneath. And then, obviously there were a ton of designers involved. So I got to shout them out too, because this event really was to highlight the past year in fashion and art. And so I think it was a really great event, got a lot of great feedback, and I feel very honored to be involved with it.
I personally loved it.
Thank you. Thank you.
I personally loved it. So TK, um, when you first came into my radar, it was due to your wearable. I think it's a collab between you and NFT Bubblegum, if I'm not mistaken.
You mean the bubble top?
Maybe it's like, or the nails, like this nails.
So
So
I
it's yours.
I have 3 wearables. The first one I did with Mitchie Todd, it was part of the Face Fashion House. They do these monthly grants, and so I won the
Mhm.
grant for May. So that was a really cool experience because I had been, from end of March to May, I won a fashion grant and got to make a wearable with Mitchie Todd, who's on the wearable committee, and that was really fun to get to work with Mitchie, get to work with UMAC, get to work with Anthony of Face Fashion. I also got to help like concept the build. So that was really cool to be able to see like bubbles everywhere and, have people jump in bubbles while they're wearing the bubble top. It was very much like I would say like my first real introduction to the space of what I do. I even had pictures of my nail art up on the top area, if you parkoured up there where the hot tub was. So that was really cool. But then from that, and kind of around the same time that wearable launched, Mana Daiquiri and I had become really good friends.
Mana Daiquiri.
Mm-hmm.
That's
So Mana Daiquiri is the one that built the 3D models for the nails for the wearables. And essentially that was just like a pure collab. You know, being a nail artist, I was sending Mana some pictures and being like, here's kind of my style of nail art. Here's some ones that maybe you could use to like model the base of the nails, at least as far as the shapes go. And then we were talking about like different materials and products, and we got this great idea for candy nails, especially because we could take some of the colors we saw that were from like the trans flag, so that we could have like a pride nail without being a stereotypical pride nail and just like rainbow. So it was a little rainbow, but it had, you know, the pink, the white, the blue from the pride flag amongst it. And so that was really cool because I basically took photos of my nail products I had in this is my pink room, my little nail art pink room. And so I took photos of all the products, and then Mana took that, made them into 3D objects, and then put them on nails. And so it was really cool to like, I didn't give them the exact sketch, you know, I kind of just gave them the tools and the mood boards, and then they like brought it to life in like their style. Yeah.
Yeah, that like I can get it. I relate to that.
Yeah.
It's like when you don't, like, for instance, for me, like I don't know how to do this, but I do have good ideas. So
Yeah.
for me, it's just it's the necessary means to get it done. I need to work with someone, so I can relate to that.
But
Now,
collaborating is great, you know, like it allows somebody who has creative ideas to be able to make something, you know, if they're just missing maybe the technical side, or somebody super technical and, you know, doesn't like the creative side as much. So I think it's, you know, the space is really great for allowing people to come together and make something really cool.
nice. Now, what about um, like you mentioned that right now your career is focused on the nail art, and in the central end, like I told you, when you first came into my radar, you came to my radar because of the, you know, the nail art, the nail whirl. Then I saw your, I think it's like a top that has bubbles all over the
Mm-hmm.
place,
Yep.
and I cannot remember the third one right now. Maybe
There's
like I don't know.
there's two nail art wearables. So there's the Candy Pride set, and then there's the Glamour Opal set. And the Glamour Opal set is that purple with the sort of like geometric sort of bubble-like shape. Yeah.
Yeah, I see. Like I get it now. Okay, cool. What about like how does your IRL career with nail art and the DCL side of this business, where do they meet, or what's the next step for you towards that?
Yeah. It's pretty like fun story. So when I joined Decentraland, I had been doing nail art for probably about a year and a half, maybe a little bit over, because I taught myself during the pandemic. It was a bit of a necessity. I had a really wild nail set on that had these like diamond chains dripping from my hands, and I got it right as the stay-at-home happened in New York, like literally a week before. And so I kept them on for a while because they were so good and like so great. But then eventually they grew out, and I was like, I have to remove these. Like, what am I gonna do? So I bought some of the materials and I removed the nails, luckily and safely. But then I had bare nails, and I was like, this is not okay. Like, it's been years, and I've always had very intricate nail art on that I had been concepting myself, like literally sketching in my iPad, like what I was going to get done at the nail salon for 2 years before before the pandemic. So after I got the tools to remove the nail sets, then I bought more tools to do the nails, and just thought, you know, it'll be fun. We'll try this out, but I'm probably like real trash at it. And then I did a set, and it was pretty good. And I was like, okay, maybe I learned a lot more than I anticipated from my nail artist I sat across. And shout out to Mickey for that. I love Mickey. Um, yeah, so I just started learning during the pandemic, and I've been doing it now for about 2 years, a little bit over. And when I joined Decentraland, like it was interesting because I wasn't sure, like, do I come at it from a place like I'm in advertising, I'm a creative director, do I present myself that way, or do I take my nail art that I'm trying to create a business with and present myself that way? And so I leaned into the nail art, and the way that the community just loved it. The response was really great. And then the subsequent, like I mentioned, the fashion grant that I did with Mitchie, and so that bubble top actually has bubble nails as well. And then doing the 2 sets with Mana Daiquiri after that, like it just sort of solidified that intricate nail art needs to be in Decentraland, and I'm here to bring it.
That's good. Like the way I see it is just all the pieces falling into place for you.
Exactly.
That's very good. That is actually very good. Now, what about like what about the business idea itself? Like this is how your art and your the central and experience they just meet. What about
Yeah.
your business idea per se? Like where do both worlds collide for your business, or how do you
So
envision
yeah, I haven't talked a lot about sort of my business plans with the community just yet because it's ongoing, and it's not to say that I'm trying to be secretive. I mean, some things I can't tell; it's
no,
proprietary.
some things are
Um,
secret.
Yeah,
It-
because when you're developing something new that's never been created, you can't be telling everybody because someone can rip you off. But I know I have plans to make like in real life products, like actual things that you can buy and like use as either a nail artist or somebody at home. So I'm trying to figure out like manufacturing and fabrication for that. But in addition to that, since I've been in Decentraland, I'm now seeing this beautiful future path of like launching my brand here and starting like Web3 first. I take a lot of sort of impact and inspiration from Wisher Vodka, right? The first vodka in the metaverse, or at least in Decentraland, and the way that they've been able to bridge that IRL and metaverse life, and they're up at all the events, at all the NFT events and all the metaverse events, and they're really like here for the community, whether it's IRL or in world. And so I kind of want to do the same for my nail business. I want to be able to launch my brand. I want to do some fun NFTs that'll kind of blend the worlds through Fidgetals. So you'll be able to get the art, get the wearable, and then get the actual like press-on nails that you can wear. Um, so that's kind of the
Combo.
future path right now, but more to come when I can tell more.
What I hear, just by hearing what I'm hearing, I can see that it's a promising path for you. Okay.
Yeah, I'm super excited for it. And those I have told, or the spaces I have been able to speak about some things, I've gotten a lot of really great reception for it. So I can't wait to bring it.
Well, I am a fan of your art myself, so you're on the right path.
Thank
Now,
you.
see, I can see that obviously you're a nail artist. You've been working a lot towards this, and like from every angle. Why don't you talk to me a little bit about the DAO thing? Um, like was, I was just checking a proposal for like, is it like hand category? Just like, can you explain me a little bit?
Yeah, so it's been really interesting since I've come in and had nail art and been a nail artist. People keep bringing up this proposal. Well, it was a pre-proposal poll, and how it got posted and voted on and passed in June of 2021. And essentially, everyone said yes, we want a hand category, so you can have a slot for hands. And I kind of have been sitting and looking at it and constantly going back to it and like wondering what to do because as a nail artist, a hand category would be amazing. So I don't have to think of it as earrings or a hat or something else. Because right now, like, there's so many great things in the earring slot that I have to sometimes not wear my own nails. And that makes me very sad. But I know with the hand category, that would sort of open that up and open up more possibilities for people like jewelers and just various people to make fun things that you can keep on your hands. Maybe it's tattoos even or something like that.
Yeah.
So I've been looking at this pre-proposal poll. I've been staring at it for a while. I don't know the person who originally posted it, so I maybe need to find some more information out about them and if they're still around. But I kind of want to escalate it a bit and see if we can take it to the next phase of what needs to be done in the process of the DAO, so we can try and get this hand category going.
Maybe we ask help from our community as well.
Mm-hmm.
See if we can get this done.
Yeah.
Um, now, what do you see for CK like in the future, the central and wise? Like I'm asking because um, I know you personally a little bit, and I know you're like I admire that from you. Actually, you're very active, uh, the central and citizen. You're constantly working for the community. You're getting people involved in the DAO thing, like myself. Like I started to get involved because of you and Vanessa. And I just would like to ask you, why do you think this is so important? Because I know you're very active on this.
Yeah.
Why do you think this is so important?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like Decentraland, it's a platform, but it's a DAO, and it's there for us to utilize, to exercise our rights, just like IRL, like we should be voting in local elections so we can affect more change that affects us more locally. And just like with Decentraland, the DAO is that, and that gives us access to be able to vote on proposals and who gets money to fund their projects or to build something for the space. The polls start a conversation around, is this of interest to the community? There's also a point of interest that we vote on, and that's great to like highlight certain locations so that they can get more visibility on the events page, on the happening page, on the highlights page, and all that. So I think it's just not only a bit of our duty, but like it's better if we all are engaging, because we all have different mentalities, we come from different backgrounds, and to be inclusive, we need to hear as many voices as possible. And so I think that's why, for me, coming in and making community, a community builder and being community focused is so important to me, because I want to see a better future for this sort of society we're building here. And we have to do that with community and hearing all voices.
Yeah, I've always noticed that you're very keen on the fact that we need to communicate each other and with each other in a better way.
Yeah.
And the DAO thing was a bit confusing for me at the beginning as well. Once I looked into it, I just noticed the same. Like it's just a way to voice your opinion. It's not necessarily your opinion is gonna stop something, or maybe it does, you know. But at least you're giving someone the chance to hear it and maybe change their perspective on something.
Exactly.
I've seen proposals with comments that have literally changed the voting. Like people who voted no, they switched it.
Yeah.
So it's very important, I think, as well.
I agree, because at the end of the day, like if you aren't speaking what you think and feel, those who think and feel the same who aren't also speaking, like may not feel like their voice is heard. So it kind of takes somebody taking that first step and being that first voice. And then you'll find that there's a lot of people that usually agree with you. So I think, with the community building Decentraland Discord, the Twitter spaces, and everything that we're all doing to have these conversations just opens that up. The DCL DAO Discord has been really great for that with the working groups. And I think the more we can be transparent and have this kind of communication, we really can sort of tackle a lot of the things that are maybe issues.
Yeah, I agree. So CK, one last thing before we end this, like assuming there's someone new to the Central Land today,
Hmm.
what would you advise them? Like how would you like, what would be your message for them if this is the first time and they happen to bump into this? What would you say to them?
Oh gosh. So usually I tell people to go explore, go to the places tab and see where people are at and go jump in and just start talking, just start engaging, start asking questions. If you don't know what you're doing and you need help, ask questions. Go on Twitch, The Twitch streamers are so friendly and so great, and that's kind of a lot of how when I first came in, I had all these questions. Like, I knew crypto, but I didn't know crypto in this space. I didn't understand why I couldn't buy mana straight from the Decentraland website. Like, and then I found out New York doesn't let you. So that was something I had to ask a bunch, and people didn't even know the answer too. It took a while to figure that out. But people like Sinful and other streamers, Mariana, were just super helpful on streams. Roachkiller as well, just constantly there answering questions and acknowledging you, and that made me feel seen. And then I also got answers, so then I knew what I was doing a little bit more. So just go explore and engage.
Very well, CK. That's a very good advice.
Thank you.
Very good piece of advice. CK, I don't know if you have anything else to say, because I I have a lot to process after this interview. I don't know if you have anything else you would like to add before we close this off.
Yeah, I just always want to say thank you to everybody. I love everyone that's welcomed me and let me be who I am in this space. And I really look forward to what we can do and what we can create in the future for Decentraland.
Thank you, CK. I have big love and big respect for you. So
Much
thanks
love.
for being here today. I hope this is the first of many. Okay?
Yes, I hope so too. I'm here anytime. I love chatting with you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.